Well, they say blondes have more fun, and this man has had a lot of fun with a very long and sexy career. Owen Wilson is with us. The mics are hot with Owen. My brother, oh my God, is it good to see you. And this, I love Stick. I got to say it. This is, you know what? If you're a math major, Ted Lasso plus Happy Gilmore equals Stick. Is that fair? Like, this is great.
Listen, math wasn't my strong suit, but that math, that's the new math. And yeah, that sounds pretty good. And thank you for that introduction. A long and sexy career.
Sexy.
So, that's
You are
good.
you are eternally sexy. You'll be sexy forever. There's just no question about it.
Yeah.
Are you at all? I know you're. Look, I've played a little golf with your brother Luke, but are you?
What do you shoot? You're a pretty good golfer, right? You can break. Can you break 80?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Fairly regularly.
Really?
Yeah. I'm the
You ever
Stick.
had a hole in one?
You know, I can tell you how many hole-in-ones I've had. Hold on, let me see. None. But I'm gonna get one. I want one. So, yeah, I have the worst thing actually. I have a hole in 3. So I took the first ball and I pumped it into the woods, and then I reloaded and it went into the cup. And everyone's jumping, oh my God, hole in 1. I said, oh yeah, well, what's the number that I have to put down on the card?
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
3.
I actually had one of those in Maui where I was just playing so well, and it's getting dark, and I get to this 175-yard par 3 end of the day, and I hit one and was like, that wasn't very good. I'll hit another one. That wasn't that good. I'll hit one more. Okay, that felt great. I didn't even see where it went. I go down there, I see the 2 I didn't hit well, and then where's the other one? I'm looking around, and boom, it was in the cup. And yeah, that's obviously not a real hole in one, but it still was really exciting. And
You
I
know the
did
feeling.
save the ball. I saved the ball and I used it and then lost it, I think, the next day. But I was with Don Nelson, who I play with in Maui. Coach Nelson, Hall of Fame, winningest coach in NBA history, and he got a hole in one, and 83 years old, hole in one.
Holy mackerel. Was it his first? Wouldn't that be beautiful to finally
No, it was
No.
like I think it was like his third. Yeah. Some guys it just comes to, I feel like I'm gonna get one. Like when you're, do you feel that you're gonna get one, or do you feel that you're never gonna get
I
one?
feel like well, that's the thing now. Now you're really getting into this whole manifesting area, this whole universe. Speak nicely to it and it will take care of you. What you put out there comes back. I'm super negative on the whole thing. It's a definite, not a chance. I'm never going to have one. In fact, I go dark as soon as a guy tells me, hey, not going to believe it, I had a hole in one. I'm like, I'm never going to get mine. I'm never going to get mine before I can celebrate him.
You're almost daring the universe to prove you wrong.
Exactly.
You're taking
Show
that
me.
route. You're like the kid on Christmas, like, oh, I'm never going to get the bike I want. Yeah, that's effective. That works with parents. So
Little
that
reverse
probably will
psychology.
work with the universe. Yeah, I'm the other way. Like, I know it's coming. I know it's going to be under the tree.
Oh, well, I mean, listen. For you, I look at your career. You're at University of Texas. Your roommate is Wes Anderson. You guys write what becomes Bottle Rocket. By the way, what was it called before Bottle Rocket?
It was always Bottle Rocket. That was the
Always.
title that Wes came up with. And literally, when it was just him sort of like, kind of doodling on a piece of paper, that was the title.
So if that hadn't have worked out, I mean, so basically, right out of school, you guys have a successful script. It's still one of the great movies, and it sort of just goes from there. But what if it didn't work? What if it never picked up? Like, so many people
Wow,
like
we're
struggle
going to
in the
go
acting.
dark now, aren't we? I
What would
don't
you
know
have been?
what would have happened if that hadn't worked. I mean, my dad was in advertising. I was kind of okay at writing. Maybe I would have somehow been able to get into that, but I didn't
Columnist?
graduate from college, and I don't know. It could have been scary. I don't know what would have happened if Bottle Rocket hadn't come through. And by the way, that didn't seem like it was going to come through, because even after we made it, Sony said it was their worst testing movie in history. So, um,
You had your whole family in it too, right?
oh gosh, I still remember us leaving the second test screening we had where, you know, maybe only we only had 20 walkouts as opposed to half the audience the first time, and an executive coming up to us and saying, "Congratulations, seriously." And Jim Brooks said, who was walking with us and was the producer, quick as a whip, said, "Our goal for the next screening is to have someone say congratulations without having to say seriously."
Oh, God, is that good? Oh,
And we never got there.
I was telling you a second ago, I was talking just a few minutes ago with our mutual friend, the great Bradley Thomas, a film producer. I never got to share with Bradley because the idea hit me as soon as we hung up. I have a tremendous idea for a movie, and I have to get it out to you right now. It just hit me. It's a movie about the Manning brothers, starring the Wilson brothers, and it's a comedy because Eli, he does the Chad Powers character, which now Glenn Powell's going to play in a series. But I think you're Peyton, Luke is Eli, Andrew is Cooper Manning. So it's the Wilsons doing the Mannings, and in promotion of the movie, the Mannings play the Wilsons because they're pretty funny guys.
I love that idea. I think that's actually a really good one. And Luke and I did go on, their Monday Night Football thing. And I mean, I always think I'm glad that you have me as Peyton, because that is the brother that I identify with.
Right.
The middle brother.
The blonde.
Yeah. And there's also, I mean, you have to also admit, like, Peyton is like a good actor. Like,
yes.
When you see him in commercials, I mean, some of those commercials are like the best commercials that you've ever seen.
Well, the bar is low, Owen. Let's be honest. All the athletes who do commercials, they're terrible. The State Farm commercials, these guys cannot act their way out of a paper bag. Manning is fantastic. Eli is very good.
Chop that meat. Chop, yeah.
So we're going to get you in the gym. I don't see you as like a regular member of Gold's Gym or Equinox or something, but you are in good shape. We got to buff you up a little to,
Little bit. We're going to have to bulk me up. But yeah, you don't look at, Peyton and, it's not like he, looks like a bodybuilder.
No.
I probably have
and
to
we can
grow.
shoot you from the ground to get you a little taller.
Yeah,
I mean, you're
get me like a little
6
bit,
feet.
but and then Andrew as Cooper.
Yeah.
And then who knows, we might have to have somebody playing Arch Manning, because Arch Manning obviously is coming into his own.
One of your boys. It's going to take a little while to do this. Ford or Finn? Ford is
Yeah, well, I mean, Ford's only 14, and Arch looks like he's going to be the starting quarterback for University of Texas. So, we might have to bring in someone to play that role. But and then who would play the dad? He's a great guy.
Oh my God, you got Archie himself, the grandpa. We got to get you. Lost your father. We're gonna play in. We'll be thinking of him when we cast.
Yeah,
someone you love from down the road who feels like sort of a dad figure to you that you loved and you've worked with, and it's coming to you now. Now it's coming to you.
Yeah, well, we just lost Gene Hackman. He was always, never less than great in a movie.
Oh my God, Gene Hackman.
Yeah, gosh, he was good. But
Harrison Ford, maybe?
Harrison Ford.
Your publicist represents you and Harrison Ford, so I know her well. I think she could help us with the negotiations.
Yeah, and Harrison Ford looks like an athlete.
He sure does.
He's still very kind of,
I'm glad I got this idea out. Now, you look like a man with a very fertile mind, so I'm just going to let that spin around in there as the Manning Brothers movie comes to life. It could be with a great sense of humor.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, okay.
No one ever said I'm right, so I also appreciate that. Owen Wilson is with us. He is the star of Stick. God, it's like they compare it to Ted Lasso, which is the best thing because it's just, I don't know, it's just happy viewing. It's like it's got heart and it's got humor. And how much golf did you have to learn how to play? Because I know you play some.
Well, I didn't play really any before we started, and then I started kind of learning for this, and it's continued where, I was playing the other day in Dallas,
Wow.
and
Trinity Forest, where were you?
yeah. What'd you say?
Trinity Forest, where were you playing? Were you
Was playing
DC?
at Northwood
Mm.
with a friend, which was actually the club that my dad played growing up. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, golf seemed kind of intimidating to me as a kid and very kind of serious. And I just never really picked it up. And so it was great with this show to finally kind of learn and to realize that I've always described my brothers as great golfers. And now that I've kind of learned, I realize they're not that great.
And you're super
You
competitive,
know.
is what I hear. Would you say that you are super competitive, almost to the point that it could be an issue?
Well, it is, but not. I think that there are people that are so competitive they can't compete, like that they just can't take losing. And I'm definitely not like that. I think I'm the type of competitive person that you want to play where, okay, this guy's going to feel bad if you win, which is kind of what you want, Like I love competing against Woody and stuff because I know it kills him when I
Harrelson.
win. And that's part of, yeah, and that's part of winning. The feeling is seeing Woody really bummed out. And so, yeah, you're going to get that from me too. Whereas you play some guys, I don't really care. And then it's like, what's the fun if the person doesn't really care?
Who would
So I think I'm like the good kind of competitive.
who would win in backgammon usually, you or Woody Harrelson?
I'm definitely a better backgammon player than Woody. And the great thing is that he thinks we're equal. So that's how you win a lot of money from someone.
Yeah, love guys like that. Who would win in ping pong, you or Woody?
That's tough.
Can you say ping
For a
pong?
while, I used to always feel like if I really concentrated, I could win. And then there was like a 2-year window where I could not beat the guy until I found out he'd been taking lessons on the side. And that sort of began sort of like a tactical arms race because then I started taking lessons and got one of those special rackets. And then he sort of was like, he was like, you've been taking lessons. I was like, oh, yeah. So now I would say it's back to me sort of maybe being a slightly better than him.
I talked to him. He doesn't agree. Oddly enough. Okay, so one of your great collaborators, Ben Stiller. He's going to do the Les Grossman movie. That's what I hear. He's going to do the Les Grossman movie with Tom Cruise. What movie might there be another Zoolander with you and Ben? Are you in the works on something like that?
I think they're talking about another Meet the Parents.
Ooh.
So that I think would happen. But I wonder what character from Zoolander, the way you mentioned Lex Grossman, could have. I mean, the obvious one is the Will Ferrell could have a spin-off. But yeah. No, I
I
think
think
the
another
next
Meet the
thing.
Parents is a must.
Yeah, which will be, I think, maybe like the 37th time Ben and I have worked together.
Wow.
Are we not supposed to be talking about it?
Not
Why?
yet, it hasn't been announced.
It hasn't been announced?
Oh, you've done it
okay.
again.
Yeah,
You've done it again, Owen.
let's hold on that. How could that not have been it?
Is there work
Supposed to be,
it's about to,
but we're supposed to be even doing it later this summer, I think.
oh, but they just want to make their formal.
Oh, formal thing. Oh, yeah. Okay. I guess they're going to do it. So, okay. Well, back up. That never happened.
Incredible, from 100 out in golf, just took up the game. You put in one from 100 out, according to Bradley Thomas.
I put in, yeah, Bradley's
Maybe.
pretty good, but how would you rate Bradley's game?
He's okay. He's not
He's
as good
okay.
as Luke. Luke Wilson is a nice golfer. He has a beautiful game. He's always out there with Pete Sampras.
Always with Pete, yeah.
Little
Pete can
Kinnear gets in that match.
Yeah. Yeah. Who do you think between Greg and Bradley? Who do you bet on?
Oh, well, they're vicious. And by the way, Greg, who's had been very successful, $5 is the most he'll bet on a golf course. It's very frustrating. With all that money he has, he's very cheap. They fight like crazy. And I would say the better golfer is probably Greg, even though he's got the yips so badly, he putts with one hand because he can't put the...
I thought he was joking, right? The first time I played, I thought, oh, he's doing like a little bit here because he keeps one hand in his pocket and then he's putting with just one hand. And yeah, it's not a sign of, that's not, that's... I think there is something going on. You don't like to say
on
someone
bicycles riding around in his head while he's playing golf. That's what's going on for Greg Kinnear, to the point he can't even put the other hand on the putter. No therapist can solve this. Owen Wilson is the star of Stick, the producer of Stick, and he's rocking here with us. What is the... Did you ever have a terrible audition, Owen?
I didn't have that many auditions. The movie that I went and I auditioned for Anaconda and I got it.
Oh, wow.
Met that director, so that was an exciting day.
Terrible death for you in that, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I used to die a lot in movies early on, in Armageddon and The Haunting. I had my head knocked off. But yeah, in Anaconda, I got eaten by the snake or swallowed whole.
The animatronics on that movie are just spectacular if you watch them again.
They are. They're actually doing another one because I was just in Australia and
you're going to get in trouble again.
Yeah, or do we have to wait on announcing that? Yeah, that one's top secret also.
We are talking to Luke Wilson's brother.
Marvel is secretive.
This is...
yeah.
Now I'm going to refer to you as Luke Wilson's brother, Leek Wilson.
Leek. That sounds like somebody from Sweet Smell of Success, like kind of, hey, we're going to talk to our man, Leek Wilson. He's got something hot for us.
He always lets the cat out.
Hush, hush from Leek Wilson.
See, if it didn't work out in the movies with you and Wes and you became like a writer or a columnist, we could have called Leek Wilson would have been a great name for a columnist of some kind.
Yeah, would have been. Yeah, that's good. Kind of Fleet Street. Yeah.
Now, here a couple of quick questions for you. What's your favorite band?
My favorite band, for some reason, AC/DC just came to mind, but that was maybe because that was the first tape that I ever got, Back in Black.
Yeah.
But what I like about AC/DC and the Ramones is sometimes there's so much emphasis put on like growth for an artist and they've got to change. And then you've got these artists like AC/DC. It's like, no, we're not going to grow at all. We're going to keep doing exactly the same thing over and over until you say, you're the best. And so I kind of like that approach.
Or until you can't hear anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, these are designed for short answers. Nickname when you were a kid?
Nickname was Big O on my football team. I think I weighed 65 pounds, and I was the running back known as Big O.
It's like calling a bald guy Curly. I love it. It was a spindly little guy.
That guy, tiny. Yeah.
Favorite pet growing up?
Favorite pet was our Dalmatian, Nutmeg, and Wes used that name for Isle of Dogs, for the love interest dog, I think. So, yeah.
Who is the funniest person you've ever worked with in the biz? Who makes you laugh more than anyone?
I love Pete Fairley. He came down for my mother's 80th birthday that we had for her in Dallas, and it was we had a lot of people there. And the end of the night, my mother saying goodbye to some of her friends, and Pete Fairley comes walking by holding a chair, this like chair, leaving with it, saying, "Thank you so much." And my mother's friends are sort of, "What is happening here?"
Craziest thing is it was a Barca lounger. He's a very strong man. This is it. The Manning brothers, starring the Wilson brothers, directed by the Farrelly brothers. This is
There we go.
Oh my God, it's so coming together. Celebrity crush when you were a kid. Who was on the poster on the wall, basically?
I love Cheryl Ladd in Charlie's Angels, and then Raquel Welch, Bo Derek, yeah, Victoria Principal in
Oh
Dallas.
my God, yes.
She was great.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. First kiss, how old were you and who was that lucky woman, girl?
First kiss was probably about 13, and a girl that lived in the neighborhood, and yeah, I won't say her name,
No, she'll be embarrassed and her husband will be jealous, even now. Even
yeah.
now. Young actor right now who you think has the right stuff, like who you think is pretty good. Makes you laugh.
Well, of course, the kid and the guy in the show with me, Peter does a great job. And then well, you also mentioned the guy, from the Glenn Powell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Or no, Glenn Powell is the guy's name.
Yeah, Glenn Powell. He's a UT
Yeah,
guy. I
yeah.
think he's a UT guy like you. And
Yeah, he's from Texas, and yeah, I thought he was
he's
great, and obviously the Top Gun, and then he actually was in. Luke and Andrew did a movie in Austin that they wrote and directed, and he played the paper boy in that when he was like a little kid.
wow.
And so yeah, I think
You
he's great.
Texans all stick together. Is there a TV series you're watching right now? Do you watch TV or is
I like The Crown a lot, and I
yeah.
got Luke. Luke was kind of a holdout, and
Who's
then
your favorite queen? When you look at the crown, there's so many
well,
queens.
that's the thing, because Luke was talking to me. He goes, "Oh, I really like this queen, and now they've switched to this one. I don't like her." I go, "Stick with it." And then, sure enough, he was like, "Yeah, you're right. That queen. There isn't one that's bad, but I mean, my favorite of them, I would say, was the sort of the queen. When she first gets married to Philip. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what her name is, so I guess it was sort of the young queen. I thought she was very charming.
Yeah, we first queen, then Olivia Colman, and then a third, three queens. We three
I know,
queens.
but she's great. Judy Dench, or not Judy Dench. She was
Her
the girl,
doppelganger.
Vera Drake. I
Yes.
yes, and I love her.
Oh,
She's great.
who
I
is
love
the
that movie
actor?
Vera Drake, by the way. That's one that I remember she got nominated for an Oscar. That woman, but yeah, she's great.
Do you have
Yeah.
a Krasinski? And that means an actor that kind of is in your orbit that you're like, if it's not going to be you, it's going to be him most of the time. There's like a guy. We all have a Krasinski.
Yeah, I wonder. I guess it would be Brad Pitt for me. Uh,
I love it. F1 starring Owen Wilson.
It came right down to me and Brad for the F1 thing, and then
You did Cars, he did F1.
right.
Very
Yeah.
interchangeable.
But I thought you were going to ask a different question, which is, it's not underrated, but like an actor that maybe doesn't even get as much credit as they really deserve. And Ray Liotta, to
Oh,
me, was so good. Like, do you remember him in Something Wild? Like, he plays the kind of intense, scary guy with Jeff Daniels in Something Wild and Melanie Griffith, and he's unbelievable. And that must have been why he got cast in Goodfellas. But I think he's great. So, and he was also in this great movie about brothers that's very moving. Dominic and Eugene with Tom Hulce plays kind of the other brother. But yeah, I love Ray Liotta.
Yeah, yeah. Our daughters went to school together, so I knew Ray. I'd pick my daughter up at Ray's house back in the day.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, sweet Ray Liotta, very nice guy actually, lovely man. And back to the
Richard
brothers.
Gere would be another. I mean, everyone loves Richard Gere because he's, but I'm not sure he's ever been nominated for an Oscar, but I think he should have been for. I mean, Officer and Gentleman. Bradley Thomas and I will always talk about that movie. So yeah, that's
the great Bradley Thomas producing the Manning Brothers movie, starring the Wilson Brothers movie, directed by the Farrelly brothers.
Yeah, wait. I just remember, playing golf with Luke, he always has like a lot of ways he's going to be coming at you with mind games. And that was his latest one. When we were playing the other day, he started quoting Lou Gossett from Officer and Gentleman saying, "I want your DOR" to me after he made a putt.
Did it work?
It did work. I missed it.
Some stick you are. I love it. Stick is, get on it. Apple TV Plus. It's just charming as hell. It's Owen Wilson just doing what you do, baby. It's awesome. My great friend Howard Owens is your producer too, and from Propagate. And I hope you do many seasons. Many.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. That was fun.
Thank you so much for the time, brother. I'll see you soon.
Adios.
Bye.